Hello, Facebook fans and YouTube fans of DX Engineering. It is Thursday afternoon here in the Eastern Time Zone of the USA. It's 1930 Zulu on January 13th of 2022. It's time for the Manufacturers Showcase. And DX Engineering represents and sells over 160 different manufacturers' equipment, which is incredible. And
Yeah.
it is, tens of thousands of different parts and items that we sell. And we're very, very excited today to have Acom Amplifiers from Bulgaria. It's Adi Sugar 55 Mike. And hello, Adi.
Hi, Tim. Nice to see you again, and it's a pleasure for us to be in your show.
Yes, Adi, we're so happy to represent Acom here in the United States. And so, Adi, what has been going on at Acom?
A lot of things. At first, finally, Acom 2020, the first number is in United States for FCC testing, and I hope during January we will have FCC test, and then we can start production and can start selling Acom 2020 solid state legal power amplifier. That is
So,
good news.
yeah, tell us about the features of the Acom 2020.
Acom 2020 solid state amplifier, it's with two modules, PA modules, with two filters. We combine pure power, not first the combiner, then the filter. We have two filters, and pure power is combined with a combiner. It's a legal limit amplifier. Of course, you can force it a little bit over because you need a little bit of spare over the 1500, but it was produced and meant to run a legal limit power 1500 watts on all HF plus 6 meters. That's it. There is no internal tuner. Everything is automatic. Network control is provided already in the unit, so it's pretty good solid state amplifier. Very silent.
So there's no antenna tuner, is that right?
No antenna tuner inside.
Okay.
We will maybe produce in the future. We will modify some new version of ATU04, which can be which will be like tuner for nowadays solid state amplifier, but in the future, because the voltages involved are very high, and we could do something to say it's a tuner, but normally our engineers and me and the owner of the company don't want to make something which we will call the tuner, but will not be a real tuner.
Right, right. And so, Adi, whether I'm on 160 meters or 6 meters, I'm going to get 1500 watts.
Absolutely.
Okay. And what about the input power? Does the amplifier automatically figure out whether I'm on 120 volts or 240 volts?
So this amplifier can be powered from 180 to 240 volts. You cannot power it from 120 volts because the current would be huge. It's like with big tube amplifiers. Acom 2000, you can operate it from 110 volts, but it will deliver only 500, 600 watts, and then the fuses will blow.
Right.
Here, because of the power factor correction and everything, and because of almost 4 kilowatts of power supply power, we decided that we'll go from 180 AC to 250, even 60. It's not a problem.
So,
So
and what is the weight of the 2020?
about 23 kilograms, I think.
23 kilograms.
That is 46 pounds, something like
46
that.
pounds, right? Yep. So that is very good. What about duty cycle, like with RTTY and FT8? Some operators are having trouble because FT8 goes key down for 15 seconds.
I have tested it with FT8. It's not a problem on any band, but here is always a but. But if you have slightly inductive load with solid state amplifiers, it can overheat uh, fast if the load is slightly capacitive. At least our amplifiers, it can handle it a little bit more. All depends about the load. With normal load, with 50 ohm load, you can work FT8. I have even tested it with JT65A, and it's not a problem.
Okay, so
The fan noise will be higher because you have steps at 44 degrees Celsius. It kicks in and then it switches over 10 degrees, 8 degrees, and so on. So for normal use, RTTY or FTA JT65, it should be 1500 watts, no more limit. Of course, not key down all the time.
right, right. But you would say that it's a it's contest ready, where you're really hammering away for hours and hours, and we're not going to have any problem with the amplifier.
No, I was working several contests already with the Acom 2020 just to test it. I even bring it to one big location, and it seems okay.
Good, good. Um, Adi, let's talk. I know you said that it's in FCC type acceptance testing now. You know, the phones are gonna start ringing as soon
Yeah,
as
I
we're
know.
done, and they're gonna say, "How soon can we get it?"
Look, let's be optimistic that we gave the FCC approval here. Now we ordered the batch in production for first 10 pieces. And as soon as we will start to produce before these 10 pieces, but it's crazy with supply of electronic components. We have on stock a lot of things, and I hope it will remain to start the production normally, but you never know. It's really it's crazy.
Yeah.
We use more time to search components than to produce the things.
Uh, so let's talk about some of the other popular ACOM amplifiers.
Mhm.
In the 700, the 1200, and some of the tube amplifiers. How is production going with that, and how are things going?
So at this moment, the production is going very well on series, as I saw on the shelf. The 1200 is there. 700 will start the new production now. 1500 is in production. 2100 is in production, and 2000A is in production. So we do a little bit of everything, and within all this everything, we are starting to develop a little box about 500 watts, very little amplifier for travelers.
The travelers, for carry-on luggage,
Mhm.
500-watt amplifier that is very lightweight and can work on any voltage. Because even 120 volts. But
Yes, of course.
yeah, that
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 that is our goal. I have the module on my table, and I'm testing endless variants of input transformer, output transformers, only like this. But for now, and it will be at least now I see it from 160 meter to 4 meters,
oh, all the way to 4. That's
all the
great.
way to 4, and on the all bands 500 watts. At least I on my table with filter I have these powers.
Well, that's great. Audie, we have some uh, some viewers in the chat, and I want to make sure that we recognize them, because there are several great comments about the ACOM amplifiers here. And let's see, Papa Delta 1 Bravo is on. And let's see. And Addie, Germany 6 Alpha Delta, he says, excited to hear more about the new ACOM 2020.
Uh-huh.
And Paul says, wow, ACOM 2020. And let's see here. Michael, Whiskey 8 Charlie India from Xenia, Ohio, he says, I really love my ACOM amplifiers. I use a 1010 in my RV, and I use the 2100 in my shack. I have viewed the video of their manufacturing facility, world-class manufacturing. And Michael knows what he's talking about because he knows about manufacturing. That's really high praise, Eddie.
Yeah, you know why is this with Acoms? Because it's a passion of Vasil, of owner, Lima Zulu 1 Juliet Kilo. His his passion is doing things right. It's not doing it for business. It doesn't matter. He's doing it with passion every time. Sometimes we do things which are not cost effective, but just for pure passion.
Passion goes a long way, and that's the same thing that we have here at DX Engineering with the passion that we do we do things because it's the right way to do things. And
Yeah, and you are doing it right. You are the biggest shop of the world, I think, for ham radio with so much different stuff that even I, when I search something, I'm getting crazy there.
but, Adi, the thing about the Acom amplifiers at DX Engineering is that um, we sell out
Hmm.
immediately.
Yeah.
In fact, it would be great if the production of Acom amplifiers was 2 or 3 times what it is, because many times when the amplifiers arrive
Hmm.
from Bulgaria to our Talmage or in Sparks,
Hmm.
they're already sold.
Yeah, Tim, I can tell you, it's a problem with people. It's very hard to find right people to deal with it. It's we could increase, but then we are
Yeah,
starting to do something. The supply chain, we are almost everything is produced in factory now. Even now, we are opening the new part of the factory where we will wind our own high voltage transformer. We bought all the machines, we bring the new people inside, and we will do everything here because every other thing is connected with transportation, with delays, with other people, and Vasil wants to have the control, but it's getting more and more people, and this is what we can. We know we would like to produce more, but more than 12 hours in factory every day, it's almost impossible for me and for others.
right, right. No, and I understand that, and the fact that the quality is such an important part of the passion, Adi, with ACOM amplifiers.
Yeah. If you We test the amplifiers in automatic test facility. We test every amplifier at least 24 hours. Now you imagine if you have a lot of amplifiers, a lot of loads, a lot of driving signals, a lot of heat, and we can do, let's say, 12 amplifiers at time, but it's still, you must have 100 amplifier at time if you want to feed the market.
Right. No, and certainly, the best amplifiers are coming out of ACOM, and we're really excited. Let's see. We have NA5 Charlie. Steve, you may have answered already, but what SWR range can it handle? So I think he's talking about the 2020. What kind of SWR can it handle,
One
Adi?
to two, I think it's, but we are not SWR limited. 200 watt reflected.
200 watts reflected. Okay.
That is the limit. That is where we set the protection. And when you have 200 watts reflected power, it will power off. If you have more than 69 amperes, it will 65 amperes, it will shut down. And so it's a lot of protection. But the reflected power is 200 watts reflected, and which it will shut off.
Okay. And K7 Charlie Tango Radio says, I absolutely love my ACOM 1000. It is a breeze to operate. And we've got Fred, Whiskey 4 Lima Lima. He says, highly interested in the ACOM 2020. So,
You're not alone. You're not alone, Fred.
and I see we also have Kilo Oscar 8 Sugar Charlie Alpha on from New York, and part of many D Expedition teams.
Yes, my
And
good friend of mine, Adrian.
yes, Adrian is, and a good friend and a great operator as well.
Uh, he's all
Um,
over the world.
yes, and Jeff, he says, I love my Acom 1500. Are are spare replacement tubes available for the
Of
1500?
We are a serious company, of course.
Yes.
And even every tube is tested in factory before sending it to you, so it's not a problem.
Yep. And let's see. Adrian has another comment. He says the Acom E-Box is a godsend for 4U1UN. It allows full control of the Acom 2000A amplifier. The United Nations clubs will be installing one shortly for full remote capability. So that's great news, Audie.
Yeah, yeah. That's this. We should talk about this little box. Everybody is talking about remote controlling, and we decided that we will design some little box. This box can control all solid state amplifiers from 600 to 1200 plus Acom 2000, which is automatic. It's normally can be controlled with this. It's the same box, absolutely the same box. Just this connection cables change. One is for 2000, one is for solid state amplifiers. You just plug Ethernet in, power, and you are ready to go. And I can share the screen, how it looks when it's connected to network. You control it over the web browser. You don't need no software, no setups. You just uh, share the you just open the browser. Let's see. I hope you see my screen.
No, you need to.
Uh,
There we go. Now we got it.
okay, here you see if you had errors.
Yep.
And now I
Look at
can
that.
dismiss the
That's
error. This
beautiful.
is 1200 over
Yeah.
E-Box. This is Acom 2000 over E-Box.
Yeah.
And this is 2020 over E-Box. No over E-Box. This is 2020 directly on uh, on Ethernet. This 2020, you can see it. All the amplifiers are in our
There
testing
we
room. You
go.
see,
There we go.
it's transmitting on
Now we're
20
seeing some
meters.
power.
You can see different things, different
All
measurements. Everything is, you
yep.
see, 30 amperes,
The
500
parameters.
watts.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's the settings for all these things are very straightforward. This is a device. Practically, I'm now logged as user, not as admin, but this is how you want that your meter acts. Somebody wants it faster, somebody wants it slower, and you can readjust this like you want. So how fast will be this meter when measuring the power? And you can control practically everything from this box. And for Acom 2000, you don't even have to connect the RCU if you don't want to. So only E-Box with Acom 2000A, and you have fully operatable station. You just switch the menus over the web browser.
Boy,
That's it.
that's just beautiful. The interface and the display. I mean, it's phenomenal.
And one another thing, if you are not logged in, I will log out now. If
Okay.
you're not logged in, there can be several persons who can look at this screen. You just browse to IP and you can look at this screen. You are not logged in, you cannot change the state, but at least you can monitor the output and everything, and there can be 3 4 people monitoring the same amplifier if it's working okay. That's
So
it.
this is the Acom E-Box.
This is the Acom E-Box. I will stop sharing screen now.
Very nice, Audie. Just great.
And
And
a little box, and if you need it, it's available over the X Engineering.
yes. And we have Jeff is on. He says the Acom 2000A is a fantastic workhorse at November Juliet 2 Uniform Sierra, loafs along at legal limit with the rugged GU74Bs, not worried about any failures. And that is
Thank you.
good. And then we've got Delta Juliet 3 Alpha Bravo Charlie. He says, I love my Acom 1010. It works great. And we also have Andrew on from Namibia, Victor 51 Yankee Juliet. And Andre says, what about VHF and high frequency amplifiers? What about VHF, Adi?
Andy, always asking the hard questions. I will return to debate with you. You asked me about 5 minutes ago, why don't we increase the production? And now you have the answer on what about VHF and high frequency amplifiers.
Yep, only so much that you can do. And
Yeah, it's difficult to. Nobody wants to deal with high frequency anymore. Everybody wants to write the software, but nobody wants to deal, and nobody actually learns a lot about high frequency. I don't know. It's not. They are not interested.
And Mirko was on 9 Alpha 6 Kilo X-ray, and just he wanted to say hello to
Hi,
you.
Mirko.
And let's see. George says, should be a nice addition to see E-Box with API interface for Node-RED integration. And
so you can kill me if I understand this question. I will be honest. Maybe I should be quiet, but I don't know what is API interface for Node-RED integration.
Yeah,
But I will search about it and I will see what can be done.
Okay. And November Yankee 9 Hotel, who I talk to just about every day, he loves his Acom 2000A, especially with the new controller. And Bill was doing a lot of remote here in the last week while he was on vacation. And so November Alpha 5 Charlie is asking about price of the 2020. It may be too soon for that, Adi. Is that right?
You will be first to know, Tim.
Yes. And then we will put it on the website.
Yeah.
And let's see, Whiskey 9 Sierra November talks about Node-RED as well. So Adi's going to investigate.
I must make a research what is this Node-RED flows, but I will make the homework, guys. Okay. I'm sorry, Steve. And nice to see you also here. I have no idea what this is.
Yeah, well, we'll get to the bottom of that. Alan says my 2000A is in the manufacturing line right now to replace his Alpha 77, and the Alpha 77 back here is not a sugar X-ray; it's a Delta X-ray.
One holer.
One holer. And Adi, Germany 6 Alpha Delta said, I received great support from Val when I had a problem with my Acom 1000. Val was amazing, and the issue was diagnosed by Val after the exchange of emails. So customer support, Adi, is really important.
How it works, customer support. The front man is Val, and there is a team of us behind the Val who deal with the problems. Some problems repeat and are easy resolvable, and Val even doesn't contact us in the R&D or in manufacturing, and he deals, I think, about 80% of every stuff by himself, but he's doing a great work. And if it's something is really problematic, he just asks. Yep. But it's a team of people behind the Val.
And let's see, John says Node-RED is a software flow, which a lot of hams are using for station control and remote control. And I know Adi and the rest of the Acom team will look into that. Let's see, we have November 8 Golf Uniform Yankee. Al is on, and you do it with passion or you don't do it. And he's absolutely right.
He's absolutely right, yes.
And John says, Tim, we are testing Node-RED for control of a phased vertical array we are working on. So lots of great discussion. Adi, thanks so much for staying up late. I know, you're over in Bulgaria. it's coming up on 10 o'clock at night and you're still in the office.
It's always a pleasure. It's not a problem for stuff like this. If people has questions, I like to answer them and also to present new stuff. And next time you're welcome, call, and I will be again here even at 10 p.m. It's not a problem. It's like
Well,
contest.
that's right. It's just like a contest. And Adi, thanks so much for all you do. And please pass on our thanks to Val and Vasil and everybody over there for the work you do and the amplifiers that you make that make all of us happy.
It's not a problem. We are here. Any problems, we are always happy to answer. Tim, thank you very much for the invitation.
Okay, Adi.
Okay.
73 and all the best to you. And 73
73,
to all the viewers.
good luck and have fun.
Okay.
Bye bye.
73 from DX Engineering.
Bye
73,
bye from
Adi.
Acom. Bye.